Hmm. Hello, 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 and good afternoon. Welcome. It is March 30th, 2021. So, welcome to today's Lunch and Learn with Sandra, your RDN, where I will continue to dish out your weekly dose of nutrition news for the mind, the body, and the soul. So, I hope each and every one of you are having a wonderful Tuesday. It is beautiful here in Orlando, Florida. It's actually been unusually warm this time of the year. So summer is coming way, way, way too soon. I don't know about you all, but it's definitely a little too hot for it to still be March. So feel free to let me know your name. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I would love to know where you are and. Is it cold? Is it hot? So definitely give me a shout out and let me know that you're on. I love it. And so, for those who are tuning in live, I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to tune in with me every week. I'm so appreciative of it. And those who tune in on the replay, I definitely am appreciative of you tuning in on the replay after you've had a long day and taking that time out to chime in and just, see what I have to say to help keep us all healthy and strong. And so, we are continuing our series on your favorite topics, okay? Where I'm bringing back some of the favorite topics that you either engaged in the most, you tuned in the most, and you just really voiced that this topic really made a difference for you. And so we are going to talk about the unsexy way to supplement your diet and to bolster your immune system. Kind of intriguing, huh? So, just a little facts here. So, more than 4 in 5 Americans, adult Americans, so that's about 26%, take vitamins and minerals. They take some kind of multivitamin, some kind of supplement, which makes them pretty popular. Supplements are popular, right? And so, if you're like most, you tend to, or you may take more than you need to bolster your immune system. Okay, has that crossed your mind? Do you think maybe you need to take more? Because we, especially in this pandemic, do I need to take more supplements to make sure that I'm strong? So the real question is, what are the best supplements to take? Okay, so tune in, stay tuned, because this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. And so for those who do not know me, my name is Sandra Goldtree, and I am a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I simply help people who are struggling with weight loss, keeping it off, wanting to overall just have a healthier lifestyle, not just from an eating perspective, but from a self-care perspective. And so I like to say that I take a different approach because I like to address the total body and not just the food and not just weight loss, but we want to make sure the whole body is sound and that your temple is as strong as it can be. Simple as that, all right? Without dieting, without dieting. And so I see people chiming in. So please definitely tune in, state your name, where you're from, if it's hot, if it's cold, just to kind of let me know who I have on the call today. All right, so let's jump in. I have a question for you. Alrighty. So do you take 2 or more supplements daily? So I kind of would like to kind of get a feel for if people are currently taking supplements. And this is not including what your doctor prescribes, okay? Because sometimes a doctor will prescribe some supplements. So if you're taking at least, 2 different supplements a day, kind of chime in and say more than two, okay? Or if you're even taking less than two, just chime in to let me know that you're taking in some supplements, all right? And so today's topic, I see people tuning in, the unsexy way to supplement your diet and to bolster your immune system. Okay. And so let me see here. I see a few comments. And actually, before I get in too deep, I do like to get set up so that I can see comments and then I can see the name. So let me get that set up real quick. I forgot to do so, and then we are going to jump in. So I have a couple of windows open. That's why you see my eyes opening. All right, I see Sharon on. Yay! She's in. So she's up north, so it's 60 degrees. So that's actually nice, 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 nice. And she takes a multivitamin daily. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Sharon. All righty, so let's jump right on in. So, is more better? Okay, that's the first question. Is it really better? So, I'm sure you're wondering, what this unsexy way to supplement your diet is really, really all about. But when I come across people who take a lot of over-the-counter supplements, like different things, to address either energy, sleep, GI distress, as a pre-workout snack or workout or as a post-workout. So they're taking supplements for a lot of different things. And when it comes to supplements, there's so much hype around their potential benefits. It can really be hard sometimes to separate fact from the fiction. Okay, and so it's true that vitamins and minerals, they are essential for our health. They are, but like vitamins, particularly, they are vital to life. Okay, but it's not true that taking them in a pill or a capsule or a powder form, especially in mega doses, is necessary without risks. Okay, and so in general, for most people, don't need to take an individual supplement or individual vitamin for an overall healthy lifestyle. Most people don't. However, that being said, there are some cases where you may be at risk for some deficiencies. So, what you eat and even what you don't eat is key. So, better yet, an adequate, well balanced eating pattern is key. Okay. So, supplements are just that. Okay. They accompany or they supplement an already healthy eating pattern. Okay. That's key. They accompany or they supplement an already healthy eating pattern. So what that means is they are not a replacement for food. Supplements are not a replacement for food. The body prefers and absorbs nutrients better naturally from food. Okay, it has because it absorbs at a higher percentage rate than the supplement, which is considered artificial in most cases. So, however, there are some exceptions. There are some special cases where supplements are necessary to address a deficiency that cannot get addressed with food alone. And that does exist. And a perfect example of that is vitamin D. Okay. You just cannot eat enough salmon to bring those levels back to normal. If you're low, then, and especially severely low, that's when the doctor will put you on a higher dose just to get the levels up, and then recommend that you stay on a lower dose over the counter amount to keep the levels normal. So there are exceptions when we need a supplement, okay? But again, that's usually on a case by case basis and a doctor prescribes. So that's what's key. So I see a few comments. I'm going to look and see what I see here. Monique, hi, welcome. Glad you can join us. So she takes a multivitamin, and she mentions slippery elm occasionally. So she's taking a supplement as well in addition to her multivitamin. And so I have a question for each one of you all. So were you aware or unaware? So have you ever had your vitamin D levels checked? Okay. So are you aware of your levels? If you are, say aware. If you're not aware of your levels, post unaware. I highly recommend that you get your vitamin D levels checked, because you can walk around here being deficient and not even know it. So basically, with any non-Caucasian, we're at high risk of having a vitamin D deficiency because of the melanin in our skin. And so it blocks the sun. The sun is the number one source of vitamin D. And so if your skin tone is blocking the sun, if you're like me, you're just not in the sun enough. I'm only in the sun to go to my car, to the mailbox, and that's about it. I'm not out in the sun on a long basis, on a long-term basis. And I was very deficient at one time. And being vitamin D deficient is linked to a lot of health problems. I mean, sometimes you just start falling apart. I like to say you just start falling apart and you don't really understand why. So if you do not know your levels, get your levels checked. It's not part of normal lab work. It's not part of an annual lab work. So you have to specifically ask for it. Okay. A lot of doctors are starting to do that. But if you haven't had them checked, definitely get them checked. Okay. So a lot of people are unaware. Some I see a few that are aware. So if you're unaware, definitely get those levels checked. It is very, very, very important. Okay. Definitely. That is one thing that I always recommend for my clients, if they have not had them checked, is to get them checked. So I'm looking around because I'm checking to see comments. So I see a lot of people are aware, which is good. You always want to know. All right. So now let's move on to the next topic, which is we are what we eat. It's true, we really are. And so sadly, too many of us do not eat enough of fresh fruits and vegetables and other foods that we need, to keep ourselves healthy year round. Because remember, fruits and vegetables they're very high in antioxidants. So think cancer preventing or prolonging, if anything, cell protecting. Okay. So the more, again, don't overdo it, but definitely want to make sure we have enough for our body needs, which is different for everybody. Okay. And we cannot just eat an orange or just eat a grapefruit and expect this one big quick burst of vitamin C, okay, to prevent a cold or illness or a virus. So the bottom line is you cannot expect that if you eat poorly, but then yet you take a supplement or a whole bunch of supplements that is going to just all of a sudden make our immune system just strong and effective and things like that. So you want to use supplements as just that, something that's going to help the body when it's not able to absorb everything that we do take in from food. So what you eat, not what you supplement with, is really what's important to build your defenses against germs. Okay. And so vitamins, they're not an antidote for unhealthy eating. It's not a replacement for unhealthy eating. So that's another mistake that people make. But don't miss this. They help fill in the gaps. They help fill in the gaps for an otherwise healthy eating pattern. Okay. So you eat healthy, but if you're somebody who truly needs only 1,200 calories a day, there's no way that you can get all your vitamins and minerals that you need with 1,200 calories. There's just no way. So you need a supplement. Okay. So it just kind of depends on the situation. And then there could be a medical condition going on too, where you need to take some additional supplements. So a truly healthy immune system depends on a balanced, nutritious diet plus adequate sleep, a healthy dose of exercise. And when I say exercise, you'll always hear me tack on effective. You want to make sure your exercise is effective. So that involves cross training. You want to stretch. You want to have rest days. You don't want to just go heavy. You don't just want to do HIIT. You want to make sure that you have a well balanced mix of your exercise. And then also diligent hand washing. So all of that helps to build a strong and healthy immune system as well. All right, let's see here. I'm checking for comments. Think we're doing good here. Think I'm on top of everything. All right. And so now let's go into our next topic. Let me get this ready for you. All right. And so what are some of the over-the-counter supplements that you take? So I would love to hear what some people are taking. Okay, so one person chimed in, Monique chimed in and shared what she was taking. But other people, if you are taking some over-the-counter supplements, let me know, in addition to like a multivitamin. So something specific, like a specific vitamin, a mineral, or a supplement. Okay, if you're willing to share that, please do. I personally have to take a vitamin D supplement. So I definitely have to do that on a regular basis to keep my levels normal. That's not prescribed by your doctor. So you're kind of doing it on your own. So not necessarily something that your doctor prescribes. Okay, so feel free to share that. And our next topic. So let's all get nutritionally fit. Okay. We're always talking about physically fit. So let's talk about getting nutritionally fit. Okay. And I personally believe in laying down a solid nutrition foundation. I like to say, with all due respect, we don't know what we don't know. And I was in the same situation before I became a dietitian. I mean, you just don't know what you don't know. And so, meaning you want to feed the body the maximum level of vitamins and minerals and nutrients as possible from food to meet our body needs. And so, this happens by eating around the plate. So that means you're not omitting food groups unless there's a true medical reason, or even foods within the food group. So that's a lot of things that people miss. There are so many different foods within the different food groups that you want to make sure you touch on as many of that stuff as possible, because no one food has it all. If it did, we would all eat it. We all healthy, we all at our ideal weight, and we have no health problems, right? But that's just not the case. You have some grains that are high in certain vitamins and minerals, and they're low in others. So the more variety, the better. So you don't have to keep track of what food has what in it, because it's hard. It's a lot. And so once the foundation is laid, this gives the body a chance to resolve any ill side effects from nutritional deficiencies. Because a lot of times we have the nutritional deficiencies, but you don't know them. And by the time you know it, you're probably not in the best of health at that time. So you don't want it to get to that point to where your body can no longer fight it for you. And some of the signs of nutritional deficiencies is you're fatigued all the time. You have muscle joint pains, aches, inflammation. That's a big one. GI upset, headaches. I'm seeing more and more of clients who have headaches every single day. Food intolerances, hormonal imbalances, things of that nature. So unless there is a true medical condition, the body will resolve itself. Many of those side effects from malnutrition in a very, very short period of time. So once you start fueling your body and eating around the plate and knowing what that means for you and eating within your calories, either for weight loss or for weight maintenance, the body will respond, and you will be amazed at the difference at how you feel as a result of that. And so once a person is nutritionally fit, physically fit, and getting adequate sleep every night, the majority of us will only need a basic multivitamin, multimineral to fill in those gaps. So you don't need a mega dose of this or a mega dose of that, just a basic one. And in filling in those gaps is either because you're not eating enough calories in order to get the nutrients that the body needs, or the body just doesn't fully absorb everything. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes our bodies will absorb certain foods and certain minerals from foods better than others. And it also depends on how the food is prepared too, because sometimes cooking methods will have an impact on how well we can absorb the food as well. So it just kind of depends on the situation. Alrighty, so I have a question that I want to ask you all. Um, do you feel you spend a significant amount of money or a significant amount of your budget on supplements? Okay, because there was a time I did it too. I didn't realize. So, do you think that you spend, a nice little chunk of change on supplements? I mean, GNC used to get a lot of my money once upon a time, so I understand. I definitely get it. All right, I was just checking for comments. So let me know if you're spending a nice little chunk of change there. And so in a nutshell, the unsexy way to supplement your diet and to bolster your immune system is to simply take a basic multivitamin, multimineral. Okay, so now you see why it's unsexy, right? Nobody thinks about that. It's just a basic. You don't need to take a separate B12 and a B6, and you don't need to do all that. Okay. So, in addition, most people they don't need to take those multiple individual supplements or vitamins or minerals, and you need to really take caution with that, especially if you're taking other meds. I think that's probably one of my biggest concerns when people say, "Oh, take this supplement and try this supplement and try this mineral. It worked for me," but you don't know how it's going to interact with your current medical condition and or your med you're taking. So you have to really take caution with that, okay? Because you're taking them at your own risk. You may not realize that. And so I spoke on this particular exception earlier. So an adequate and well-balanced eating pattern is really key and where most should focus your attention. So you want to focus on, think about where you may be lacking. Is it the whole grains? That's a big one. A lot of times people cut out, brown rice and they cut out this, and they cut out that, they cut out sweet potatoes, they cut out foods because they think it's not good for you. Where may you be falling short in fruits and low fat dairy and things like that. So these are popular areas that people tend to kind of cut out. And so it's not on what foods to avoid, okay? It's rather what foods do you need to include for the body to get the maximum nutrients that it needs. So nobody ever talks about what to include. We always talk about what to take away. And usually what we're taking away are things that our body needs. And so now your bodies are lacking, okay? And it's having to work overtime to try to make up for those deficiencies, okay? So again, supplements are just that. They accompany or supplement an already healthy eating pattern, okay? And they are not a replacement for food, okay? So ditch the multiple individual, over the counter supplements. Save your money in most cases. Save your money and start by laying a solid nutrition foundation. Address your eating patterns first. First and foremost, it doesn't have to be elaborate, doesn't have to be expensive. Everything doesn't have to come organic. Is a way to eat healthy on a budget. Trust me. Add a basic multivitamin and mineral to fill in the gaps of your eating habit, of your eating pattern, okay? And I am going to post in here because many people ask me, so that's one thing I'm going to do in here. Many people ask me, well, what's a good vitamin? What's a good multivitamin? And so I am going to share one that I like and that I recommend to my clients and that I take myself. And it's called One multivitamin, and it's by Pure Encapsulation. So basically, it's once a day, and it has a sustained release of actually QCO10. So we're hearing more and more about that. It's hypoallergenic, it's vegetarian ingredients, and it's just once a day. So if you want to know more about that, just simply send me a direct message and I can give you more information on it. But QCO10, a lot of people ask me about what that is. It's really an added protection, kind of similar to vitamins, but it's not part of your normal vitamin mineral. So it's usually something that's added extra. And our body makes it. It is in foods, but sometimes we may not have enough when deficiencies exist. And so it helps with cell health, like energy production, metabolism, antioxidant protection from cell damage. It helps with heart health. blood sugar management, reduction of migraines. So it's just like I said, like another layer of protection. Okay, again, not a replacement because our bodies do make it and it does come from food, but it's just kind of gives you that added cushion. And so, how do you get nutritionally fit? That is the question. How do you get nutritionally fit? And let me see here. Let me check. Let me check for some comments because I am seeing some things being posted, and I think I may be missing some questions. So let me make sure. Okay. Okay, good. So I'm looking at the comments about the multivitamins. So good. So we have people who are not taking any, and some people say that they stopped taking supplements and that they're only taking the multivitamin mineral, which is great. Which is great. And so the question is, how do you get nutritionally fit? Okay, that's usually a big question. So the first step is to begin by incorporating a variety of foods from the five food groups. I always encourage clients look at the foods that fall under the different food groups. Pick the ones you like. Okay, even if you haven't had it in years, choose the ones that you like, and as a starting place, at least see what you're working with. And one way to kind of make that a little easier for you is I do have a 3-day meal plan that you can download. It's complimentary and it crosses the gamut of the food groups. It's very colorful, very easy to follow, but it will at least give you a sneak peek on how to start incorporating different foods from the different food groups and how easy it is to do, especially when you have recipes. That makes things a lot easier, don't it? And so they're easy to follow, they're fast, and they will definitely increase your energy levels. It will definitely, if you think you have energy, I always tell people there's more room in the tank. So definitely download and check it out. They're packed with powerhouse foods, and you'll see a variety of different types of meals, and there's substitutions there that are available as well. And so that is what I have for you all today, the unsexy way to supplement your eating pattern and to bolster your immune system is to simply take a basic multivitamin mineral in addition to a healthy eating pattern around the board. Okay. And so thank you for tuning in for your weekly dose of nutrition news for your mind, your body, and your soul. Next week, I'm going to speak more on vitamin D. So, and this is often the benefits of vitamin D and how it affects our immune system. So we are hearing more about vitamin D during this pandemic. I'm actually hearing more about people supplementing with more vitamin D. So tune in next week to hear more about how to do that. All right. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye-bye.